Hello, hello, brothers and sisters. It's a new week. We are very happy to bring you our show titled Speak of Africa. I am Prince Ojong, your host, and I'm very humble to bring you this news. We have a whole lot of news for you. And our news focuses on Africa and Africa's problems. That's what we talk about. We talk about African affairs, African problems. What do we do about them? We talk about the problems, then we deal with how to resolve these problems. So we look at the news, then we look at the news behind the news. We understand Africa as a continent. We understand the issues, and we try to share this with you. We try to have a dialogue. We are really happy because a lot of times you guys are the ones sending the news to us. When things are happening on the ground, you are our citizen journalists. Okay? You get this information and you send it to us right away. So this is really great. In fact, for the news of today, we're going to start. But before we start, I want to say thank you to all our subscribers. If you have subscribed to the show, we're very happy. We'll notice that within the last few days, we had over 3,000 people who subscribed. That was very positive. We've been asking you to subscribe, so you're doing what we're asking you to do. So that's formidable. Thank you very, very much for the confidence you've placed in us. Thanks for subscribing. We are really flattered. For the show of today, you see, you guys send us news. We're going to start first with La République du Cameroon. Mr. Paul Biya is running the country on autopilot, just the way Muhammadu Buhari used to run Nigeria. So much is happening in Cameroon. Where is Paul Biya? He's lost in Europe. He's somewhere in Hotel Intercontinental. This morning, some of you guys woke us up and sent us news. In La République du Cameroon, the city of Douala is dealing with a lot of floods. So things are not easy. Life is not easy for a lot of the residents, and we feel sorry for them. In addition, there's a 4-story building that collapsed, and over 13 people have already died. And it looks like the number of deaths is going to increase because some of these people were taken to the hospital. So you send us this news, and we were reading some of the newspapers online, and we saw that the news was genuine. So we decided to publish it. So in Douala, a 4-story building collapsed on other buildings. What's happening? Why is it that we don't have good building codes? The government is really good in terms of building the military, but why can this government not have specific building codes so that people can use when they build houses? Why must people just build houses haphazardly? What's wrong with this government? Well, because the leader is not there. People just do whatever they feel. He runs the country from a small hotel in Europe called Hotel Intercontinental. Since the meeting in France, Mr. Paul Biya has not returned home. So he's just been stranded in Europe. He's been missing in action in Europe. And that's what has been happening. So the country is left to run on its own devices. So he tries to run the country on like a remote control. Yeah, he fires people from the hotel in Europe, hires them from the hotel in Europe. That's the way the guy runs his government. It's a shadow government. Okay? While this is happening, the people are suffering on the ground. So it's very, very sad. We feel sorry for the families in Douala who have lost people because of the flood. Then the collapse of the building. We also feel sorry for some of the families that have lost people. Our prayers go with them. La République du Cameroon has a whole lot of problems. Right now, it looks like the Cameroon Code of Hammurabi is what is used to justify the genocide in Ambazonia. But even in Yaoundé itself, so many people are dying. Death has become a common occurrence in Yaoundé. Why? Why? The Bible says, thou shalt not kill. But every day in this part of the world, people are being killed with joyful abandon. Why? Because this is a state of blood. The state loves human sacrifice. The state loves human blood. And now even the Pope knows that the Paul Biya regime is a bloodthirsty regime. They love blood. They love human blood. So they feast on human blood. And that's what is really sad. And we feel sorry for the families that are, you see a lot of people dying in Yaoundé, so many just dying in Yaoundé. You just hear, oh, this Bamileke person has just been killed. Well, that's the price you pay for being part of this voodoo country. It's really sad. But even though Paul Biya is in Europe, lost in action, AWOL, he still has his thugs doing his dirty work. This colonial master is just like a pharaoh, a great pharaoh. He has the people doing his dirty work for him. In fact, the last week, you see that in Ambazonia, so many bad things are happening. First, we feel sorry for the people who have lost their lives in a flood in Limbe. Limbe is the town where you have Sonara, the oil company in Cameroon. They pipe the oil from there, then send it to Douala, where it is sent abroad. So the people themselves don't really benefit from this oil. We've talked about Sonara many times on this show. Now, the place was burned, so they are not even producing anything. They have to buy oil somewhere else, then sell. So it's really sad. But when you look at a place like Limbe, this is a place where they have been producing oil for decades, just like in eastern Nigeria. You have places that produce oil, and they try to compensate the local population. In Limbe, by contrast, what they did, they changed the name from Victoria to Limbe. They tried to whitewash any resemblance of British heritage so that the people should forget about their British heritage. But it has not worked. This tragedy, you see a lot of pictures, people dying, okay? We're not going to show a lot of images because YouTube will censor us again. But we want you to know that this flood is not nice. It's really a tragedy. A lot of people died in Limbe, and we'll have so many videos and pictures to share with you, and you can see pictures of people dying. Watch the pictures. Thank you very much. But the death toll keeps increasing. You can see that the Biya thugs of B, they just love killing people. And the number of people they kill is really big. So like this, Bamenda is just horror, horror, horror in Bamenda. A lot of innocent civilians were just killed for no good reason. As a result, the families of most of these civilians decided to take the law into their own hands and retaliate. So that's why you're having the code of Hammurabi. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. That's what is happening. You do this to me, I do the same thing to you. I retaliate. So it's just like an escalation of violence that has been going on. While Mr. Paul Biya is in Europe taking care of his illness, the country is burning. It's very, very sad. And he alone can put out the fire. But he's so far away. How can he put out the fire? He cannot, because he's very, very far away. He doesn't even care. He cares more about his health. So he's in Europe struggling to take care of his health while the people are dying. Where's their president? He's AWOL. He's nowhere to be found. He's missing in action, as we say in the U.S. Army. So it's very, very sad. So that's why you see the pictures. Then, of course, the ghost town in Ambazonia has not gone away. One of you guys just sent us a video of a typical ghost town, and we want you to see this ghost town, because the ghost town paralyzes activities in this part of the world.
Yeah, now me this is now Sumoma Condes. Yes, that is the only tools we have and our restoration forces. Yes, this ghost town, Mr. Mano tell una say na Sumoma Condes. That's what each of this it is run around because you know where to way today me. Yes, una see. Now the most busiest street this, but now in this a day nothing. So Make some man of funa. Make some man of funa.
Mr. Paul Biya's government is no longer in control of the northwest and southwest. Okay? So sometimes they try to use the military to intimidate the people, make them scared, but they are no longer in control. So things are not really working. You can see that. Okay? And we'll have the picture of. Then you guys, you also sent us a video of Francis Ngano with B elements in Ambazonia. What is he trying to do? Well, this is a Bamenda guy who got a break and he thinks he can go to Ambazonia and make fun of the people of Ambazonia. So it's really sad that this guy who has really struggled, he has come a long way, he's not even a well-educated person. But because he has skills in boxing, now he's using his fame against the people of Ambazonia. But the people are not going to forget. So he's now presented himself as an enemy of Ambazonia, Francis Ngano. Even his Bamenda brothers, look like Professor Patrice Ngana, was criticizing him. Why are you going to irritate Anglophones? If you come to La République du Cameroon, why not stay there? Why come and brag so that the B elements should put you in a vehicle, you parade around to provoke Anglophones? You know that they are killing them every day, they are suffering, but you want to come to rub some oil on the wound. Is that a good thing? And this is why all will not be well with Francis Ngano. Before, a lot of people were cheering for him, but I think not anymore. He's not a good guy, he's a bad guy. And the people of Ambazonia will mark him as a very bad guy. Time will tell. Francis Ngano. Okay? Next, we leave Cameroon now and go to Burkina Faso. The problem with jihadists has just been exacerbated. Ibrahim Traoré, the president of the junta ruling this country, has just realized upon inspection of weapons that the jihadists are very, very well equipped. The army could not believe it. The jihadists are very, very well equipped. They can take on the army with all the weapons that they've been able to procure. So, what does this tell that president? It tells him that the fight against the jihadists cannot be won easily. It cannot be won by militarization alone. We've been saying it every time on this show that give peace a chance. Give peace a chance. That's the only way forward in Burkina Faso. Otherwise, Ibrahim Traoré would waste his time. Now he goes to Moscow, he tries to change his partners. Instead of dealing with France, he wants to deal with Russia and the Wagner Group. But you see now that the Wagner Group is not reliable. Okay? The Wagner Group is not reliable. So how can you have a partner like the Wagner Group thinking that you'll be able to beat back the jihadists? You cannot. So the jihadists are growing in strength, and that's the realization of Ibrahim Traoré, the president of the military junta in Burkina Faso. So what is he going to do upon realizing this fact that we've been singing on this show every week? Will he take any action? Will he try to bring his brothers to the table to negotiate? It remains to be seen.
Do you need tax preparation services? We can help. Contact PJ Tax Service, America's only full-time income tax preparers. Like the good old doctor, we do not close our doors after April 15th. In fact, we stay open all year round in order to serve you. We are located at 11207A, Lockwood Drive, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20901. Make an appointment today with Prince Ojong, your tax expert. Call 240-350-1131 or visit us on the web at www.pjtaxservice.com.
Next, we'll take you to Congo DRC. This year, Congo DRC is going to be having presidential elections. And we've told you Congo DRC has been suffering a lot of insecurity in the east, especially areas like Ituri. Okay? So much is happening. This area in the east also borders places like Rwanda. So there's always a fight for the goods and minerals that are in this region. So the bad guys are selling these minerals in the black market. So there's always been the killing of people taking place all the time. But now we are seeing a political assassination. And this is the assassination of a very prominent minister, Cherubin Okende Osenga. It looks like this is a deal. He was asked to come and present himself because he is a spokesperson for the party of Moise Katumbi. Moise Katumbi was sidelined before by Joseph Kabila. Moise Katumbi used to be the governor of Katanga province, where they had a lot of minerals, okay? So he was the governor, but Joseph Kabila chased him out. When Felix Tshisekedi became president, he had a form of rapprochement. He brought in all the former guys who had left the country. So Moise Katumbi, he's running for president. So Osenga is a spokesperson for Moise Katumbi. But it looks like his bodyguards was paid off and he arranged for him to be assassinated. Because this guy asked his bodyguard to go and submit some papers. Before the bodyguard could come back, he had disappeared. How could this happen? Come on. So this is a bad job, a job done by some bad guys. Who is going to benefit when Mr. Osenga is assassinated? We know that it is not Moise Katumbi. So the only person who can benefit from this death is Felix Tshisekedi. So even though the country is saying that the government wants to investigate, there cannot be a fair investigation of this matter. The family of Cherubin Okende Osenga wants this death to be investigated. But we don't think there will be a fair investigation because the president may be involved. We don't want to say things quickly, but we're telling you that President Felix Tshisekedi may be involved. So let him make sure that he doesn't interfere with the investigation. Because this guy is a charismatic guy. Moise Katumbi also is very charismatic. Then at the same time, too, Martin Fayulu is running again for president. So who is going to be the next target? Now that they've taken out Moise Katumbi's spokesperson, will they take out Moise Katumbi himself? So we are suspecting that there's going to be a lot of violence before the next election because Felix Tshisekedi wants to remain president. The first election, we told you, he did not really win this election. He struck a Faustian deal with Joseph Kabila to become president. So this time, he wants to win the elections based on his own merit. But do you think he can win this election? We don't think he's popular enough. If the election is free and fair, the Senai, which is their electoral commission, is in the pocket of Felix Tshisekedi. So how can any other candidate win this election? They cannot. So let us leave Congo DRC. Lumumba Hero National, your country needs you. Let your spirit wake up and change this country. Lumumba Hero National, Patrice Lumumba. Congo needs you. Congo Avenue. So we'll take you now to Egypt. Egypt has always been known as the cradle of civilization. As I say, civilization started in Africa, and when people think about civilization, they think of Africa and Egypt. But today, Egypt seems to be inhabited by Arabs. Historically, Egypt was a country of black people, Kemet, okay? So now, the American Hollywood, led by people like Beyonce, they are trying to reproduce this black history, Kemet. And the Egyptian government of Sisi is really angry that they are painting the picture of Egypt that they don't like. So these people are Afrocentric folks, so they are presenting Africa in the right image. So Egypt and the government, they do not like it. So what is happening? They are criticizing the black Hollywood. But black people are doing a homecoming. So we love it when black people think about their roots, okay? We like the homecoming, we like the Afrocentricity, Black people have to know who they are. They have to establish the poetry of their identity. That's what we think is important. Okay, it's very important. So let the government of Sisi criticize them, but we think Beyonce and the other Hollywood stars of coming from the black community are doing the right thing by propagating a pro-black agenda. We like it. Okay?
Do you need tax preparation services? We can help. Contact PJ Tax Service, America's only full-time income tax preparers. Like the good old doctor, we do not close our doors after April 15th. In fact, we stay open all year round in order to serve you. We are located at 11207A, Lockwood Drive, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20901. Make an appointment today with Prince Ojong, your tax expert. Call 240-350-1131 or visit us on the web at www.pjtaxservice.com.
Next, we take you to Kenya. William Ruto. So many people are dying because of protests. The protests are taking place because of taxes. You want to raise taxes, then there is high cost of living. So many people have died. Raila Odinga, the opposite protests. The government responded negatively, so a lot of people were killed. Now many people are asking for accountability. So William Ruto, this is going to soil your image. People were thinking that you're coming with a new deal, we're going to see a new type of Kenya, but people are seeing now that you love to use the stick too much. So you love to use the stick. So we don't think you do very, very well. When you love the stick too much, you not really get the love of your people. Then we take you to Mali. Mali has just had a referendum on a new constitution, but the way we're seeing things, it looks like Assimi Goïta is jockeying for position. He wants to run again in 2024. So don't think the military is going to leave power. No, Assimi Goïta is either going to run for office as president, democratically elected. He's part of the Wagner group. They are supporting him. So how is he going to do this? Well, either he runs for president himself or he uses a lackey to run in his place. Then he'll be controlling the lackey. It's just like when Vladimir Putin of Russia decided to be prime minister, he made Medvedev president, but he was controlling all the strings behind the scenes. So Medvedev was just a puppet. So Assimi Goïta may do the same thing, okay? Next, we take you to Nigeria. Nigeria has a lot of issues, and the issue have to do with the collapse of the Naira. The central bank has been a whole lot in the news. First, Godwin Emefiele, the governor of the central bank, was arrested. Then they jailed him. Then later on they released him. Then we hear that he has been found guilty. But even after that, the Central Bank of Nigeria still has a lot of issues to deal with. Okay? The Naira is on a free fall. We hear $1 equals to over 850 Naira. So this is just like the times of the First World War when the German currency was reduced to rubbish. Ruble, nothing. So this is not good. So Bola Tinubu, you need to sit back, take a handle on this foreign exchange, okay? Look at the currency. Get some people who are economists who can advise you on how to manage your economy, how to manage a Naira. It's true, you can do some devaluation, but don't just do devaluation without sitting down with some top economists to strategize. That's what the country needs, okay? Because that's very important. Money. You need to have people who know how to help Nigeria so that the people can have confidence. We hear that even in the black market, the Naira is worthless. And the people don't want it. They want but a dollar. So it's very, very sickening. So we leave Nigeria now and take you to Senegal. Senegal is having elections soon. Macky Sall has already said he's not going to be a candidate. But the people keep asking, what about Ousmane Sonko? So the name of Ousmane Sonko keeps coming back like a refrain. It keeps coming back like a refrain. Okay? It reverberates all the time. So is Macky Sall going to do the right thing and allow Ousmane Sonko to run for president? We think it's a good idea for him to allow Ousmane Sonko to run for president. Otherwise, he's going to be inviting a lot of violence in his country and let the rule of law prevail. Okay, we're going to take you now to Sudan. So the generals continue fighting each other. Al-Burhan and Dalgo, the two generals of the army and the general of RSF, they're still fighting, they're tearing their country apart because of their own selfish reasons. Jeddah, Saudi Arabia has been trying to broker this deal for peace. The United States has also been struggling to broker a deal for peace. But as much as the two contenders appear to be conciliatory, but they are dug in. They are not really ready for peace. So the war will continue. More and more people are being killed, and that's the tragedy of Sudan. But the effects are already felt in other parts of Africa. So the conflict in Sudan is becoming more and more like a regional crisis. It's affecting other countries like Chad, okay? So Egypt would also like to help. Uganda would also like to help, but for now, the generals are still selfish. They are not really patriotic. They don't love their country. Then finally, we take it to Zimbabwe. The people are complaining. Mr. Mnangagwa, where is democracy? Since he took over from Robert Mugabe, people were thinking that things would be different. We never thought so, because we knew that Mr. Mnangagwa was the enforcer for Robert Mugabe. So it's like the guy who is the hammer. Now he himself is in charge. So if he's used to using the hammer to hit people, like this one, they used to call him the crocodile. He would tear you apart. So now he's president. Is anything going to change? We don't think so. So we thank you very much for watching our show of today. We're asking you to continue supporting us. Send us your stories, subscribe, and tell your friends to subscribe. Patronize our businesses and share information that can help all our people. We love you and we say thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Now more than ever, it is critical that medical facilities utilize modern, reliable electronic health records. Introducing Alexia HTC, the innovative, affordable online solution for physicians and patients. Doctors' visits, diagnoses, prescriptions, and billing have never been easier. With Alexia HTC, you can work more efficiently with the integrated flexibility medical professionals need today. Schedule a live demonstration. Call or visit us at alexiahtc.com.
Medical practice software is too old. Indeed, all the programs are built on MUMPS, technology of the 1950s, and the programs cost too much money. Epic and Cerner cost billions of dollars. Meditech costs thousands of dollars too. In fact, that's why we created AlexiaHTC.com, a new and free EMR/EHR for doctors. AlexiaHTC.com is built for HIPAA. Yes, magical one-screen technology, ease of use, quick charting, amazing e-prescribing, tight labs integration, multi-office difference, because we believe doctors and patients need a break today. Be the first to test drive AlexiaHTC.com. You have nothing to lose, you have everything to gain. Act now. Call 240-350-1131. Alexia Care Corporation at AlexiaHTC.com.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.